if you're trying to find prospects, whether it's for your coaching business, your consulting business, your agency business, or if you're a job seeker, if you're trying to find a business or a specific type of professional on LinkedIn, then Sales Navigator is absolutely the tool you want to use. So I'm going to be showing you some tips and some tricks that I've learned as a marketing agency. I run a marketing agency focusing on LinkedIn to generate leads for our clients. I'm going to be showing you some of the tips and tricks that I've learned that will benefit you as well. So without further ado, let's dive in. All right, so this is what your LinkedIn Sales Navigator platform looks like. And of course, it's a paid service, so you definitely need to have a subscription for you to use it. So the first thing I want to show you is what we call the SSI score. So it's called the Social Selling Index score. And this is how you get in here. So you log into your dashboard here for Sales Navigator and you go into this icon here and then you click on the Social Selling Index. Now, this Social Selling Index score, basically what it does is it shows you how the LinkedIn algorithm looks at your profile based on how well you are using the LinkedIn platform. Now, my score is not the best. I definitely should do some better work increasing some of these areas, but as you can see here, there are 4 components to the score. There's establishing your professional brand, there's finding the right people, engaging with insight, and building relationship. Right now, I've not been doing a good job of engaging with insight, and if you click on these sort of question marks, you can see some of the descriptions of all of these features here. So you definitely want to increase, you definitely want to do some of the activities needed to increase this score, because that will allow you to number one, maximize the platform, but also the LinkedIn algorithm will look at you more favorably if you're doing things like automation or doing some other activities on the platform. So this is something that I think is very useful. Also, you're able to see in comparison to other people in your industry. For example, I'm in the top 4% of people in my industry, in the sales and marketing industry, and then in my network, I'm sort of in the top 11% based on my score. And this is just a very good metrics to understand how well you're using the platform. What are the opportunities for you to improve your usage of the platform as well? So that's the first thing I'm going to show you. Now, for the actual search itself, for LinkedIn search, when you're looking to find your prospects or your ideal clients, there are a lot of tricks we can use here. So we're going to be talking about some of the more important ones. The first one I want to show you and talk to you about is what we call Boolean operators. So Boolean search operators. So if you're familiar with mathematics, there are sort of like 3 Boolean search operators. We have the AND operation, so AND, we have the OR operation, and we have the NOT operations. And basically these operations help you narrow down and fine-tune who you're trying to search for. So let's put that into practice. So for example, if I'm trying to search for people who have the word consultants and coaches on their profile, then I can just type that in here, so consultants and coaches, and then all it will do is it will bring up every profile that fits some of the other criteria here that has the word coaches, consultant, and coaches. You want to make sure if you're trying to search for people with double words. So for example, if you want to search for a financial advisor as well. So if you want to say something like coaches, consultants, and financial advisors, you have to use the apostrophe sign here. So you go financial advisor, and then you go enter. So basically what it will do is it will bring up people that have the word consultant and financial advisor in their profile, and that will help you really narrow down who you're looking for as well. So this is taking a little bit of time, but as you can see here, we have independent financial advisor. As you can tell, is also a consultant as well. Financial advisor, and financial advisor, this guy is working under Atlantic Wealth Consultant, so it definitely fits that bill as well. So that's a good way of using the AND operator. Now you can obviously say also consultant or financial advisor if you're looking for both of those. So, and we're looking for people who have both of those criterias, that they have both of those keywords, or you're looking for someone who either has a word consultant or financial advisor on their profile, and that is helpful for that. Now, another thing we can use is the word not. So if we're looking for people who do not have the word consultant or advisor on their profile, so we can go not consultant or financial advisor. That excludes the people with the word consultant or financial advisor in their profile. As you can tell, the results here are very, very different. So we have people who here are, they have the word president, and let's see here some of the keywords: business owner, president. So you can see it's excluded people who have the word consultant or financial advisor in their profile. So this is like a very, very powerful tool using this Boolean operators to basically narrow down the search. Now let's talk about some of the other filters here. Some of the filters here are very, very obvious. Company headcount, so basically how much employees the company have, current company. If you're trying to optimize and look for people who are working at a specific company like Microsoft, then you can use that as well. Past company is pretty obvious. Company type, so basically if you're looking for people who have who describe their company, so basically non-for-profit companies or partnership, self-employed. Again, this is pretty straightforward and you probably understand what those are. Now when it comes to role, job title is very, very crucial. You're looking for people with, say, president. You use this one a lot. So for example, you're looking for founders as well, and you can use this as well. So that's very, very obvious. One thing though you can play around with is you're looking for people with a role in the past or current or past not current. Again, these are things you can play around with to really help you with your search. Now, one thing that I think will be very valuable, like a scenario level, years in the current company and years in current position are fairly obvious. One thing I like to use is Spotlight. So there are a few options we have in the Spotlight options here. So we can find people who've changed jobs in the last 90 days. So that's very, very helpful. Say if you're a recruiter and you're trying to find people who've changed jobs in the last 90 days, or if you're like a coach who helps people, transition from a job, that is very, very helpful filter. But one of the filters that you'll probably use the most is people who've posted on LinkedIn in 30 days. And that's a very, very powerful feature because obviously there are lots of people on LinkedIn, but it doesn't mean that all of those people are actually active LinkedIn users. So using these filters help you to narrow down your search based on people who are actually using the platform frequently. Now, when it comes to posted content, I find that this feature is not as powerful because the idea of keyword in articles is that you're looking for people, subject matter expert or the thought leaders who are posting about a certain keywords in article. But I find that people don't write articles as much on LinkedIn these days. So this filter is not really as useful as it used to be. A couple years ago, people used to write tons of articles on LinkedIn, but I find that is not very common anymore. So we don't use that as much. Now, when it comes to personal section here, connection is a very, very interesting one. So we have first degree connections, second degree connections, group members, third degree connections, and team lead connections. So first degree connections are actually people who you already are connected with on LinkedIn. So you send them a connection request or they send you a connection request and you accepted it, you're now first degree connections. So they're your immediate connection circle. And then second degree connections are connections of your connections. So you're not directly connected with them, but you do have somebody in the middle that connects both of you together. And then group members are people who are in the same LinkedIn group as you are. There are tons of groups on LinkedIn for various things. So if you're connected, if you're looking for people in those groups who are group members like you, then you can use that to find them. And then of course, third degree connections are literally everybody else. So they're people who you don't know, who you don't have any connection with whatsoever. Now, team link connection is a very interesting one. Team link is like an advanced feature on LinkedIn, and this team link is basically a feature where it allows you to have, like, so say you have a company or a business and you have other teammates. Now, team link connection is a feature that allows you to access the connections of all of those people as well. So that way, for example, you can say, hey, so basically you can have an introduction to someone else who's connected to a team member without being connected to them, which makes the introduction a little bit warmer. So you can say, hey, John, you and I are connected, but we have a mutual connection, Andrew, and I'd love to reach out to you for whatever reason. And team link connection is not just, it's a feature to help you turn cold introductions into warm introductions. Now, again, this is not a feature that is used very, very often because it's a very advanced and expensive feature, but I thought I'd explain how that works. Geographical location is pretty interesting. You can pick any geographical location, cities, countries, and that thing I also like to use is postal code. So for example, if you want to pick, if you want to find a business owner that is, say, located 5 miles of, downtown Toronto or something like that, this is, very, very helpful in doing that. So you just pick the geographical location or type the postal code, and then that helps you to narrow down the search based on those metrics. So that's a very interesting one. Another interesting one is industry. So industry, of course, you can can find different types of industries, and there's a whole list here. You can include and exclude industry. So I like the exclude feature, because if you want to exclude a certain industry from your search, you can definitely use that as well. And that's very helpful. Years of experience, pretty straightforward. If you're looking for people with different levels of years of experience, you can use that. Connections of is a very, very unique one. So for example, if you have a connection, so let's find someone in my connection. So let's say let's find a random person here. So Abraham here. And if I want to find connections of his connection, so people who he's connected with that fits my criteria. There are very strategic uses for that feature, but it's not one you use very often. But if you have somebody who has a lot of contacts, say in the finance space, and you're trying to leverage the contacts that that individual have, then that's when you use this feature as well. Groups is very straightforward, so you can find people in a certain group. So for example, I am in some, if you're looking for people in a marketing group, so for example, let's say marketing communication group here, you can use this to find people in those groups and then reach out to them, and you don't actually have to be part of that group to utilize this feature. So it's a very, very unique one to use. And then of course, if you're looking for someone specifically, first name, last name, profile language, those are like very obvious ones to use. Team link connections, again, this is another one that we don't use very often, but you use team link if you're trying to leverage the connections of other people, other team members in your company, and trying to leverage their own connections, so you can make warmer introductions. That would be your introductions being cold. Then we use that as well. School, very obvious what school is for. Lead list, so you can actually build lists of leads. So for example, if you can pick all of these people here, for example here, and then you can actually save this search, or you can save them to a list. So you can create different lists for different criteria of people, and it's a very, very useful way for categorizing and building different lists. So that's one way of using that. So what you can do is you can actually include or exclude the searches from those lists. So for example, say you build a list of marketers or financial coaches or whatever list you've built, and you want to run in that search, but you want to exclude those lists that you've built already, so you're not reaching out to them twice, then that's very, very handy for doing that as well. So people in CRM is again another feature you need to upgrade, so I won't talk about that. But if you have integration with HubSpot or other platform, and you want to exclude those people from a search, then this is very helpful to doing that. Account list is very similar to lead list, except that it's going to be company name instead of regular individual people name. Again, that's not one that we use very often, but it's very, very powerful if in the right context. Now, when it comes to people you've interacted with, I like this one very much because you can remove people who you viewed their profile, or people who you've contacted in the past. So that way you're not double dipping and reaching out to people twice. So that's a very, very interesting one as well. And then save leads and accounts. You can also include or exclude saved leads or saved accounts. Again, it's not one we use very much, but again, a combination of all of these tools really help you to use Sales Navigator very powerfully. One last thing I want to show you is referrals. So you can actually refer 2 free months of Sales Navigator tool to up to 10 people. So again, you have to be connected with them, but if you want to gift Sales Navigator features to somebody, then this is a tool you can use as well. So those are all the tools that I wanted to share with you. Again, we use all of this to find leads for our clients in our agency, and I thought I'd share them with you. If you're interested in finding ways to grow your business using LinkedIn, LinkedIn is an absolutely powerful way, and Sales Navigator is an amazing tool. Look at some of my previous videos for more different tips and ideas and strategies we use. And if you want one-on-one help, feel free to reach out to us and book a call to discuss how we can help you. And if you like this video, like, share, and subscribe. And if you want me to do a video based on a specific topic or question, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one.